Alright guys, so as you saw by yesterday's video, she blew up. Well, kinda not. I think I can save it. I really do. Obviously, by the title, it's tearing down it's either going to be tearing down the Yamaha mx100 or attempting to fix the mx100, which isn't going to be for a while, I'm thinking. So, I think what happened is the rings got burnt, or they make two types of Wiseco pistons in this. One's a double ring, one's a single. I'm hoping it's a single, because a lot of people like double rings, because if one of your rings gets screwed up and your engine still runs like crap, it's going to get you back to the car. I would rather be stranded out nowhere and have someone come find you or call someone than have that much damage to your engine. So, let's get right into it. As you can see, I already took off the tank, the cylinder head, the tank, cylinder head, expansion chamber, muffler, and spark plug, and carburetor, and air filter. So, I've got basically everything off this. I'm not going to actually take the engine itself off. I'm just going to, since it's the top end that's messed up, because as you can see, you can still shift it. No. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, neutral. So you can still shift it. The gears are fine. Actually, I don't think it's in neutral, but whatever. Obviously, that's been loose like that for a while, but it still works. This was not there before I took the thing off. It was perfectly clean. That's WD-40. I tried to free it up a little. But this was so tight, I had to go get this thing from the hardware store. And I've always needed one anyway. If you guys don't know what this is, called a breaker bar. Mostly used in like cars and racing and trucks and stuff. But what you do is you hold it between your legs like that. You get your 1/2-inch socket. You put it on there with one hand. It's very difficult. You drop it. Anyway, you get the point. So you put your socket on there, and it's like a ratchet without the ratchet part. You just put her on and rank it, and it gives you a lot of leverage, a lot of foot-pounds of torque on that. So I tried to use my professional ratchet from Harbor Freight yesterday. About the same thing, it's just way shorter, but it didn't work. It was just spinning. So went and bought that this morning. It was like 20 bucks or something. Not bad. I wanted the other one that was on sale, but evidently the sale was over. So instead of the other one with the nice red handle like that being 20, it was like 40 again. So got that one. It'll be fine. I can always use duct tape as a handle or something. Anyway, had to get that off. It was so tight on there. I think this gasket down here is sealed so good against this thing, it's just not going to want to come off. Because I've tried and tried. I've kicked the Kickstarter, put the piston all the way down in the stroke, and it just doesn't come off. So I don't want to mess with the reeds since they already leak, and I don't want to make a new gasket. For an old bike, I didn't even think the old bikes had reed valves, but I guess so. So carburetor's off, everything's off. It's just my mom out there dumping the leaves. Okay. So it's just not gonna come off. It's pretty jammed right now. Okay, as you can see, it still goes, but it doesn't go good. So it somewhat works, but not really. So I gotta fix that, and I've got everything, all the parts and stuff over here. I tried to clean up the cylinder head, but it didn't really work very well, so I'll just use I used a wire brush drill bit head. So, got all this stuff off, drained all the gas. There's a lot of rust and crap in the bottom of the tank I gotta get out. But I think I can save it. The carburetor I cleaned and took apart. The small jet, the low speed jet was clogged. That's why it was bogging evidently. Because I sprayed some WD-40 down it. And, you know the gasket in the float bowl, there's a gasket that seals the bowl to that. Well, a little tiny chunk of that, like, it was huge, but I don't know how it got in that itty bitty jet. A little tiny chunk of that went all the way up in there and clogged it up, so that's why it was bogging so much. That's why basically I had to stay in the higher power map. That thing has like no power band anyway, so I had to stay in the high RPMs. If I could find my flashlight, it's over here. I have two of them. They're both the same. Oh yeah, with this thing, this JB Weld's still good. I just JB welded up the bottom since I do not want to take the motor. Don't want to take the motor off and split it in half to put a new gasket. There's no crack. It's just the gasket down there it basically got blew out by, it's just old or heat or something. I don't know. But if I can get my flashlight, I'll show you the cylinder bore. It's not bad. It's honestly not bad. So I think I can save it. So if I can get you guys kind of close. That there is a score, but it's not bad. There's some on there. Let me get another smaller flashlight. This is handy. Got it. They're at the hardware store for like $3. It's like a little flashlight with a torque wrench, 2 flatheads, and 2 Phillips heads. So if I can show you guys this. I don't know how. Okay, that flashlight sucks. Sorry guys, it's taking a while. Just gotta use my big flashlight. So there's a tiny bit of scoring on that side too, but almost nothing. And they're just scratches. They're not even bad. That's the bad one right there. So the ring got burnt right there, as you can see. This thing does not want to focus. There we go. But none of these, like when I run my fingernail through there, none of them, I can barely feel a scratch. None of them are deep in the cylinder. And that's good, because that means I can save it. It would have started if I kept kicking it, but I knew it was kind of seized. So if I were to be lazy that day, and if I would have kicked her over and rode it home with it running like crap like that, this would probably be screwed. And I would have to either junk the whole bike, sell the whole bike for parts, or I would have to I have to buy a different cylinder. And a probably different piston. I don't think this piston's fried. I think I just need the rings, but we'll find out probably later tonight when my dad comes over. We can kind of get that off. Someone bring up, who is my mom, she was out here working on her stuff. She bring up, could I just pry it with a screwdriver, but that's not it would work, but it's a risk. It's kind of a risky thing because these fins break pretty easy. Like, if you were to hit something on it, it'd probably shatter. It's just, like, as you can see, there's chips from rocks and stuff on there, so. But I'm thinking if I can rebuild this bike, it'll have way better compression than it did. And maybe I can get a longer piston to make that squish band at the top a little bit lower. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just bear with me, because I know a lot of you guys that have motorized bikes and stuff, you know what the squish band is. It's where the piston almost touches the cylinder. So in comparison, I'll get this cylinder. That's the squish band right there. Right where the edge of the thing is right there. I can make that a little tiny bit higher. and it'll probably have better compression, and I might get the tiniest bit of power band out of this bike. Right now it has like a little itty bitty bit, like you can barely feel it. Really, you can't feel it at all. You can hear it. It just goes up like maybe 100 to 200 RPMs. With that bike, as soon as you hit over half throttle, you're in the power band. Like, that bike has 2 gears, first, and holy shit. So that's this. You could see the squish band better on this. It's not black. See that little lip right there? Focus. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. That little lip right there, like right there. Yeah, that's the squish band. The piston goes right up in that without touching it. And that's what helps ignite the fuel. If I get another motor kit for 80cc motor kit bike, because I don't think that one has much more life left in it, to be honest, I will not put a high compression head on there. For one, I don't want to spend $70. That's why I bought the $30 one. It has no cooling whatsoever. And it's very hot here in the summer, so. Because this is a pretty high compression head right here. If it had a smaller hole right there, it would have really high compression. It still does. I think it has almost more compression than the head on it right now. If not exactly the same, so. There's no point. This one, so, I don't have much more to say about this for now, because I don't know what's wrong with it. I'm pretty sure the oil injector got clogged, but I don't know. So if I get another bike, a 80cc motorized bike, I'm thinking I'll probably, like I said, not put a high compression on there. Because it makes no sense. I'll probably put this one on there because it's lower compression, because I shaved it down a little bit. And as you can see, it's very shiny. Looks brand new, but I used it for 500 miles, so. Because lower compression equals higher top speed, but higher compression equals more torque, which is what I need around town. I need kind of a middle thing, because I love going fast. That's why I'm fixing that bike, is because, or at least attempting to, because even though it leaks, it still runs perfect, so. I just miss riding it so much. It's just so fun, and it's fun to dodge the police. It's fun to mess with people on it. The little kids love it. They think I'm riding around on some kind of freaking superhero bike. I don't freaking know, but they love it. This thing, I love this bike too, but it's not the kind of zipping around fun as the two-stroke. It's more of just a cruiser. That's why it's called a cruiser. You can still go pretty fast, but I'm almost through a gallon of fuel on it, so I can almost go full throttle on there. So even though those engines are like fairly cheap, you know, you always want to get the best bang for your buck. So also, if I do this bike, I will repaint the gas tank. I hate to take the sticker off and do it, but I think I can make this bike look pretty freaking good if I tear the whole thing down, tear the motor off. Well, just take the motor off, repaint the frame. It'd be basically like a miniature restoration, like especially get all the rust off of the swing arm and repaint it. It'd just look amazing. Clean up the chain, because I've never cleaned it at all. Because I would like to at least keep this chain, since I already have to buy a new one for my other bike. The sprockets are still pretty good. The back tire is pretty good. Of course, it won't be if I keep riding it around the neighborhood, but I think I can make this thing look awesome. There is one of these on eBay that's not as torn up, but I kind of like the original look on that. But I could repaint the tank. There's this exact stickers on Amazon as a kit. And I think I can make it look pretty cool. And I think I can get at least 1,000 to 2,300 out of it if I do that. Plus, it's just another project. I mean, I don't have to fix it soon or anything. I just take my time on it. See what the year brings money-wise. this thing is like my main dirt bike now, so if this thing has a problem, I'll probably fix it before I have to fix anything on that. Even though, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't have any problems so far. So I want to run it down to 40-to-1 fuel to oil ratio, but I'm not exactly sure if I really should do that. I don't know what it'll do. I know it probably won't hurt it, but I just don't want to risk blowing it up. So I just figured out, since I'm not really used to riding big bikes, that you got to stay in the power band all the time. There's either power in the power band or no power, and you get nothing. That's what I've noticed and what I've seen on other people's YouTube video. You just got to stay in the power band. So I think that's about it for this video. Like I always say, if you liked it, press the like button. If you want to, subscribe. And yeah, so about it for today. Maybe tomorrow I'll bring another video. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys informed on this bike, and tomorrow I should be able to ride that once the JB weld sets, maybe the day after or something, but I'm really killing to ride that thing, so yeah. Switch this around. Snow drifting in the winter will be fun. So anyway, that's about it for this video. I don't want to bore you guys even more than I already do. I know like all my videos are like 17 minutes long, but I don't know. So see you guys in the next video. Till then, have a good day.